So this episode begins with Rachel and Phoebe heading out for a girls' night while Ross stays home with Emma. At first, everything feels light, casual, and classic Friends energy. But the real tension starts the moment Phoebe brings up Ross. Rachel admits that right before leaving the apartment, she and Ross had a small moment. Nothing serious happened, but the eye contact between them clearly meant more than either of them wanted to admit. Phoebe instantly notices it and starts teasing Rachel in the funniest way possible. Then the situation gets even more interesting. Two random guys at the bar send drinks over to Rachel and Phoebe. Rachel initially acts like she's not interested because, as she puts it, she already has a baby and a Ross. But deep down, she's clearly confused about where things stand between her and Ross. One of the guys eventually asks Rachel for her number, and after hesitating for a few seconds, she actually gives him her real number. And honestly, that changes the entire vibe of the episode. The second Rachel hands over her number, reality hits her hard. She suddenly realizes that Ross could answer the phone later, and that would basically send a very clear message that she's moving on with her life. Even though Rachel keeps pretending that she's ready to move on from Ross, this scene proves she still has feelings for him. Meanwhile, Phoebe completely steals the episode with her chaotic energy. The moment Rachel panics, Phoebe immediately calls Mike and begs him to go back to Ross's apartment just to intercept every phone call before Ross can answer it. And poor Mike gets dragged into one of the weirdest missions ever. What makes this scene so good is how perfectly it balances comedy and emotion. On the surface, it's awkward, random, and hilarious. Exactly what you'd expect from Friends. But underneath all the jokes, Rachel is genuinely struggling with a huge emotional decision. Does she finally move on from Ross, or does she admit that she still wants him in her life? And honestly, that emotional conflict is what makes this episode feel so real even years later.